All I can say after leaving Whispers of Dawn, Fate Strange Fake is don't mess this up. It is confirmed that we are getting a TV anime, and after watching this 55-minute episode, not only am I salty that I can't come back next week to watch the next one, but I literally feel an excitement that I haven't quite felt since Fate Zero. Now, just a little context, I've seen most Fate anime, and I've enjoyed them all to some degree. And I think Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, those are like the holy trinity to me in terms of being like, that's like my favorite package. But Grand Order Babylonia, really enjoyed that. But I've heard some good things about Strange. And I've heard, for a lot of people, it's kind of the thing that's kept their excitement for Type Moon around. And I didn't really know why, and I still quite don't know why I feel it, but I feel the potential in this. That this, if it succeeds, if this wasn't a fluke and the TV anime can keep on the bizarreness of everything I've seen, this has potential, for me anyway, personally, to be the best Fate anime since Fate Zero. And seriously, I hope it's not a fluke because there's a lot to this. On one hand, it has a very similar feel as the first episode of Fate Zero for me, but it also has the bizarreness and the over-the-topness that some of the more newer Fate anime have been known for. And there's a lot of great characters that they introduced us to. Some familiar faces, still seeing our boy Waver, and Enkidu popping up just like randomly. I'm like, no way they're doing this. I thought for sure we were summoning Ryder though from Fate Zero. I thought for sure Waver was going to give him the cloth from his cloak and he was going to summon it. Instead, they just say, hey, casually Jack the Ripper is summoned and he's a goofball with the goofiest character. Oh yeah, too, welcome to America. There's literally a guy in this show who not once but twice brings up the US Army to blast fools. Like, talk about a strange way to go about things. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Now, I do have a full live reaction to this entire special episode available on my Patreon if you would like to see that. I'll also be covering when the TV anime of this does come out. There'll be live reactions for that as well, so consider supporting if you so wish, but we gotta talk about this one. I'm pumped, I really am. Could be recency bias, could just be because I'm a Fate shill. Call me whatever you will. I like the Fate series. It's one of my personal favorites. It's been my personal favorite for a long time. Hell, Fate Zero was one of the first anime I watched when getting into anime like really hardcore. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out of my way to find anime. Fate Zero, still one of my favorite first episodes of any show. Just that slow burn, getting to know all this, the Holy Grail War is just so wild. Just the concept of someone summons a heroic spirit and they have 3 wishes, or commands in order to use against them, get a big wish with the Holy Grail. Such a fascinating world, and I love that this episode, it wasn't about telling a complete story. This was the intro. It was to get us to understand the servants, understand the masters, and there's some twists and turns, man. I mean, the final shot, literally giant crater. You watch after the credits, there's a couple of minutes, this dude's chilling in outer space. I don't even know where he is. Talking about how, like, which universe, which world, what do we gotta do? And then they summon Saber, like, he's just like, yeah, of course Saber's gonna be here. You can't say that this is a fake Holy Grail War. Only 6 of the 7 are gonna be summoned and say that. I was like, no way, you're gonna bring Saber in at some way. And yeah, they casually do that. This was exciting because Fate's an interesting beast where at any time a new Fate anime comes up, people say, can I watch this if I haven't seen anything? And usually, pretty much, yeah, you can. I mean, yes, if you've seen Fate Zero, if you've seen the Grand Order stuff, if you've seen all the prior main series, yeah, you're gonna have a deeper connection to characters like Waver or some of the spirits that are coming back. Like, Gilgamesh is gonna get a collective cheer anytime you see Gilgamesh because he's a fan favorite. But the great thing about Fate is that even if you're in a new Holy Grail War that's set after previous ones, it really doesn't matter because you can still enjoy it. Like, that's the brilliance of this universe. The more you see, the more you appreciate, but at the end of the day, like, Fate is just, it's bigger than having to see everything. You can just enjoy it by itself. But with this one seemingly going to be the strangest of them all, it definitely seems to, reward people who have seen what came before. And this was produced very well. So originally, I think we were supposed to get this last season before it got delayed. It might have even been delayed more than once, but either way, they delayed it. And I think the big reason is probably because now that we know for sure they are working on a TV series as well, they probably didn't want to release this, say, last season, have it be half-assed, and then make us wait a year or more for the TV anime. This way, maybe we'll come back next year. Hell, maybe they'll even surprise us with a fall release date. I don't know, but either way, I feel like the time was worth it. There was only one moment in this entire 55 minutes that I looked at and said, that looked ugly. And it was initially when our boy Gil and the kid were walking. There's like this really short moment where they're walking weird. Besides that, though, it was consistent. There's some insane detail, like the first moment of this episode that focuses on the dude's shoe on the ground, and it was animated way better than it needed to be with how it bent and everything. The action scene at the very end with Gillen and Kiddo, that shit was popping off. And talk about a strange way to wrap it up. There's a couple of moments they blue balls me where I was like, you better not play the credits here. And honestly, it leaves you excited. Like, within 10 minutes, I was mad I didn't have an episode to watch next week. This would easily be like my favorite thing to watch every week, I think, this season, if they gave me an episode every week. Because that's how much not only I love Fate, but how much it hooked me in. Now, it's entirely possible that this won't even come close to a Fate Zero or even Heaven's Feel, right? But I feel like the potential's here because there's such an uncanny valley vibe to this of things are way different. Things are different than what we expect. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Fate Strange Fake started as an April Fool's joke, but then got so big that it ended up becoming some of the most respected Fate stuff in this universe. I'm pretty sure that's true. I could be mistaken, but either way, I think this was just supposed to be a gag, just a joke idea that turned into something crazy. And honestly, this has been some of the most fun I've had watching Fate in years. And that's not discrediting Babylonia or the Grand Order stuff that's come out. I've really enjoyed that, and there's some elements of those that are just absolutely incredible. But, you know, it's hard for me to say, like, oh, this definitely gives me that exact same vibe as, you know, the Stay Night stuff and the Fate Zero stuff. But this, I feel the potential. I really do. And even if it doesn't live up to what my expectations are of, like, can it surpass or even reach Fate Zero greatness for me? And granted, everyone has their favorite Fate series. I'm not saying you can't say something is better than Fate Zero. That's just how I feel personally, just giving you a little context. Even if it doesn't surpass Fate Zero for me, if it can keep on the excitement and the wow factor, it's whiplash, man. Jack the Ripper being a casual, wholesome fellow was not on my bingo card. America coming in and blasting fools was not on my bingo card. A wolf summoning Enkidu was not on my bingo card. It just was like, bruh, I've seen my familiar faces. Gil, love me my Gil. I love seeing Waver being old professor. But the idea that there's so much new uncertainty about this has me incredibly excited. And if you're telling me you weren't getting pumped the hell up when that OST popped off, I'll be a little more specific because the OST popped off this entire episode here. There was like 12 different varieties of soundtrack that played throughout this, and they're all good, but that final battle, that shit was insane. That was just, I was ready to go party, man. That shit was awesome, and it had me excited if you can't tell. Like, literally, I could watch the most basic Fate show, and I will probably get excited. I'm not gonna shy away from that fact. But I do feel like we're watching something special here, and that this isn't just a random 55-minute episode and we're gonna forget about it. Not only am I going to re-watch this one multiple times, especially before the TV series eventually does drop, but I feel like this cast of characters, whether it's the innocence of thinking that you were given this special relic and you got a toy and go off to America and you're like, I'm gonna go make friends with all the servants, somehow summons Jack the Ripper, bless him for doing so. And just every step of the way I say, I want more of these characters. There's some psycho energy. I mean, that one shot with the girl in her bedroom with the shadowy blob gave me very similar feelings to Fate Zero when Caster, that kid scene. That's all I'm gonna say in case you haven't seen that. But there's a lot of potential. Maybe that's me overhyping it. Kill me. I'm excited. I'm happy about this one. I'm going to share my excitement. I think as long as they don't mess this up, it has potential to be one of, if not the best Fate anime we've seen, at least in the television medium, because shit, this is looking good. Thoughts and feelings, if you did watch it, how excited are you for the TV series? You going to watch that with me? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos, including more Fate videos on the channel. And like I mentioned, full live reaction to this and any of the future episodes in the Fate Strange Fake series will be available on the Patreon. And while you're there, you can also get a video shout out. So today we have Dark Lord, Anthony Tong, Anthoux, and Diedrich's Fun. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.